right, so when you're working with slabs, you can build with the slabs soft. You can get them to do some shaping. And actually, one of the things that I haven't really mentioned is how you can take a slab and have it do some things it naturally does. You know, we've been making the slabs be cylinders and boxes, but a slab can do some kind of interesting things because it's this soft clay, because it's flat, and you can get it to twist around or add on to itself and things like that. I could, you know, score and slip, right? But I can attach a piece onto here, you know, work with what I've got available. It doesn't have to be everything perfection. But I'm giving you some kind of categories of how to work with slabs. And one of the categories is not quite the same as wrapping around a simple form, but slumping or draping. I tried to combine those into one. So I have some molds here that I can press things into or press things onto. And now this is a piece of metal, and if I take a piece of clay and stick it on here, it's going to stick, and I'm not going to be able to get it off. So the most important thing is if you've got something you're going to slump or drape that is not porous, you're going to need to have some, you know, have some help here. So I'm going to get it to not stick. I'm going to take this fairly thin dry cleaner plastic, and I'm going to get it wrapped around here. Saran wrap is also good, you know, something fairly thin. A plastic bag can work, but you sometimes have, the lines aren't as clear if you're trying to capture a texture as well as a shape. So I've got this fairly thin slab that I smoothed out with a rib, and then I'm going to press this onto here. Now, I've got a piece that's not really all that big, so I'm going to be making a fairly small shape here. You could work with a larger slab. Just remember you want to keep it fairly thin so it gets into that shape. I'm just kind of using my hand to get it into here because my hand is a convenient, flexible shape that I can fit into there. And I might come back through with a rib as well when I'm done, or even a rubber tip kind of tool. So I didn't bring over a soft rib, but I could use something like this to get in there and kind of smooth those surfaces. Of course, my finger works fine. You could add some water. I'm sometimes leery of having people add a lot of water onto the surface because beginners, when they add water, tend to add a lot of water and everything gets sloppy and messy. And a metal rib is alright. It won't be quite as nice to get into some of those edges. I'm going to grab a knife and just cut away a little bit of this excess clay. Depending on what shape you're trying to work with, you might have extra clay that's kind of getting in your way, or you might need to add some clay in. Now, if I were to take a little bit of clay and try to press it and add it in here, I'm going to have a seam that shows up later on when I take it apart. But depending on what you're looking for, that's okay. Or you can take your time, use your smoothing tools, either your finger or a sponge or a rib or a rubber tip tool or any of those kinds of shaping tools to kind of clean up those edges. Now, ideally, if I were taking my time on this, I'd probably let this set up and let it get about leather hard. But I'm going to kind of speed through this because I want you to see immediately what's going on here. So it's stuck, right? It's on the plastic. But if I take this plastic out of here, take my mold out, you can already see I've got some shaping happening here. And then you should probably wait, but I'm going to be a little bit impatient and pull this out of here. Now it's fairly soft, but you can see that it's got that shape. It's got some of the lines of that original form. And if I let this dry up and get stiff, it's going to hold that shape. Right now it'll mostly hold that shape, but it'll be a little bit soft. And you can use this to add onto a piece. This can be the structure of your piece. But don't forget, you can do some combinations. So, you know, this kind of reminds me of a flower. I could maybe add it onto the outside here. It doesn't have to be the whole piece. It could be a decoration, a part that works with another part. You know, you can combine these things together. Thanks.